Hello and welcome everybody back to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, as we carry on our playthrough of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Last time we had discovered that individual that we needed to question, called Limpy Lupos, had been brutally murdered. And he had been talking to wow, the headless priest right there. Now I have changed some options. These options have affected the graphics, but performance should be a lot better now. So let me know in the comments if you're happy with the lower graphical. It's not as pretty, it really isn't. However, we are a lot more stable now, so we'll see. So let's talk to the priest. Sure.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father.
Oh dear God, I'm pissed.
Here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
A bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I just love that bit. That's not really much help to me. Well, I'm sorry it's not much help to you. Oh well. Unlucky for you.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that, when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can. Because if I broke that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't. Maybe not immediately, but one day. The mills of God grind slowly.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening. In the tavern. Over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Yes, if you bribe me with enough wine, I'll be more than happy to do what you say. Yep, that sounds like the church. Ooh, hang on. So, we basically just need to wait around until nightfall. However, I think it'd probably be a good idea if we removed at least like our headgear. Because we really don't need the headgear for the moment. And it just looks a bit weird in the cutscenes when they're talking to Henry with his helmet down. I guess we could actually talk to him about the other issues in town.
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
Do you have any work that needs doing?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. Another pair of shoulders would ease my burden. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Ujet's women to witchery.
A little bird told you, did it?
You know how good people are at seeing the splinter in another's eye and not the beam in their own.
In other words, someone's been gossiping. And what's the problem?
As long as herb women stick to giving psychic to folk and bloated cows, assisting in childbirth, or burning incense in bedrooms to help with sleep, then nothing at all. But this is sacrilege, and it's unsafe. All sorts of molds and lichens and poisonous plants and other foul things go into those concoctions. I'd hate to see her poison some poor gullible lass.
True. But then doctors of this period weren't much better.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about encouraging witchcraft. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can and deal with it.
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always pays his debts. You'll find Gertrude, the old herb woman, in the woods.
Actually looking through Henry's eyes. Well, so, yes, the game doesn't look as pretty anymore. The vegetation looks kind of crappy. I mean, it doesn't even move anymore. So we've lost a lot on graphics. This is true. However, everything seems to be really stable. Like, nothing is... Frame rate's nice. The stream looks good. Yes, I'll have to think about this. I might see if I can push the graphics up more. But we'll see. So, go and see Gertrude. Yeah, that's this evening. And what's the time now? Yeah, it's actually quite close to evening already. Although it shouldn't take us long to ride to the herb woman. So, whilst we're still quite early on into the episode, disclaimer: there is going to be signs of nudity and scenes of an adult nature. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, but we'll see. Yeah, there's going to be some nudity later on. So let's just put that out there just in case. It's kind of sad how well everything's running. How do the little woods look? They look alright. It's not, you know, don't look too closely, but... Oh, look, another... The game doesn't tell you what those signs mean, but I'm beginning to think it might mean herbalism. Herbalists nearby. Or they might be signs for such things. Maybe. Come, horsey. I didn't think it was this... Oh, okay, so yeah, it's a little bit further out. So, we carry on into the woods. And she should be somewhere around here.
I've come from the priests. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
Let's go with... Why am I at 6 for speech? Am I that low?
Be wise to give me a straight answer. I mean you no harm.
As long as it's the truth you speak. Very well. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs.
Don't call it magic.
Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end, I let them talk me into it.
I mean, in this time period, I would... So, change gender and change time period. If I was a herb woman, I would never say anything was magic. Be like, oh, no, it's not magic. No.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see. A place of wonder and
LSD.
terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their sabbaths on broomsticks.
The ointment could make a person see such things.
It is
But
LSD.
it was stupid of me letting those
No,
foolish
acid.
women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
Uh-oh.
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead and ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard their plea.
Their plea
Of gold.
or the clink of their coin?
Good work, Henry. Good work. So, back in the day, I'm not entirely sure what... I know it's definitely the medieval time period. If you were seen as a witch, they would... One of the trials would be they would give you an iron bar straight out of the forge, so red hot. You would have to carry that iron bar from one end of the room to the other, place it down on the altar, without dropping it or screaming. If you did, you're a witch, burnt. And then, if you had managed to do all of that, they would leave your hands unbandaged, and if your hands healed after a couple of weeks, then it was clear that God himself had come down and healed you and blessed you, and you know, this person shouldn't have been hurt, go forth. If your hands didn't heal, they executed them for being a witch. It's like, okay.
And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you know what they do to witches?
Yes.
They burn them alive.
That they do.
Or worse.
So don't be surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
Holy shit, it is really snowing outside. Wow.
I've heard enough.
If you've heard enough, you must understand why I need your help. Find out from those women what they intend, and watch over them to keep them safe.
Sorry about all the noise. I opened my window because I want to see the snow and see if it's actually settling. Shall we help? Yeah, why not? We are the hero after all.
Very well. But only because the priest himself asked me to.
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women.
Yeah, we'll do that. At one point. Are any of these women on the way, though? Because if they're on the way, then... Oh. Oh, really? They're all in Uzits. Uzits. Well, horsey, away! Because we have the time, so... I will make sure that we do the priest bit before the episode ends. I am also tempted to try and put the graphics up. No, we'll do that next time. I will test next time. It is okay. For now, we will enjoy a nice stable stream. Yeah, let's do C first. Let's do things in reverse order to highly annoy some people. Come on, peasants, out the way, out the way. You there, wench. Are you on drugs? Give me your acid.
I've heard something about a magical ointment.
Really? I'd like to know where from. And what concern is it of yours, anyway?
The herb woman sent me.
Gertrude? What does she want? More money?
Oh, okay, we'll try it. My speech is so low.
It's not about the money. She's concerned about your health. That ointment can be dangerous, and she wants me to make sure you don't do anything foolish.
Please, peasant. Oh.
It can't have got any more dangerous since she sold it to us. Tell her we're ever so grateful for her concern, and goodbye.
Oh well, you're a bit of a miserable old dint anyway. If you die, you die. Actually, let's see if we can talk to her about the... Oh, fuck off. I'm a knight. Sort of. Sort of. Let's see if we can be like the priest has sent us.
I've heard something about a magical...
Really?
The priest is worried.
The priest? It's nice to find out what telltales you have for neighbours. But believe me, it's none of your business. Or the priest's.
Ah, so we already know that she's got 10 speech. I don't like being aggressive, but we will.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I'll find out by hook or by crook. So start talking.
Only a herbal ointment, some chanting, and 3 women at night in the woods. No harm done to anyone. Maybe some help to some. So why don't you stop interfering?
Followed a woman. Fuck off. Why would I? Why would I follow them into the woods when I can just?
Jesus.
Oh, never mind. Never mind, game. Oh, it's not gonna get rid of her from my quest marker. Marvellous. I wonder if the game's going to be a bit Judas and make the girls leave this evening when I'm going to be partying. Ah, you son of a... They didn't put enough room for you to be able to...
What was that noise?
That sounded like...
You're a villager, so you can't be the one. Aha, come here.
I heard something about a magic ointment that you got from the herb woman.
You heard that where? And what business is it of yours?
The herb woman sent me.
Gertrude? What does she want? Haven't we paid her enough?
That's not the point. The ointment's dangerous, and the herb woman doesn't want you getting up to anything foolish.
We know all that, and it's not stopping us. So, thanks for asking and goodbye.
I regret taking my bassinet off now.
I heard something.
You heard that?
The priest is...
The priest? It's because of his sword. The lords and the humans
Didn't mean to
here
do that.
killed
That
my
was an
husband and
accident.
children. Where was the priest then, eh?
I don't quite know what's going on, but I'll find out one way or another. So I'd suggest you start talking.
Look, there's no need to make threats. There's nothing going on. Well, maybe a few spells and such, but nothing that could harm folk. We mean well, I swear. Our souls are our own concern. God has forsaken us, and we have to fend for ourselves.
Holy fucking shit, you stupid fucking woman. You don't tell someone... Like, I'm sorry, in this day and age, like in the medieval period, you're sat there saying, oh, it's only, you know, it's only a spell or two, it's nothing, it won't hurt anyone. Are you fucking mad? Are you... Do you have no, like, survival instinct? Or are you just that dense? I mean, I'm sorry, but... What? Oh yeah, this is just the time period in which they burn women at the stake alive. They drown them. And if they drown... Oh, yep, no, they were innocent women. If they somehow manage to swim and float to the surface, they're witches. They need to be now stoned to death. You're talking about spells? It's... I swear, you want to get caught. Jump, horsey! Nearly. Nearly, horsey. The noble bush is just too much for you. But yes, some of the writing for this is a bit... It's... I don't know. If I was a peasant back in these days, I would... I know nothing about magic, my lord. Spells? No. Ointments.
What's going on?
Ointments. Oh.
I've heard something about a magical ointment.
What? Who told you that? Was someone asking around?
Gertrude sent me.
And what did she say? Does she want to add something to the ointment?
No. She's worried about what you'll do with it. It's quite dangerous stuff. Witchcraft and sorcery never brought any good to anyone.
And praying has. The years I spit down on my knees.
Good-
But where was
good comeback.
God when that pack of humans came and slaughtered all the folk in Scarlets? I was with child. Did you know that? But the horror of it drove the child from my womb lifeless. If charms and spells won't help us, nothing will. We're doing no wrong. We go to the woods alone, at night, and we hurt no one. I won't say any more. You might twist it against us.
I genuinely wouldn't. Oh, okay. So that's...
Be a bit more careful.
Shut up. It is, like, concerning about how many villagers have their heads, like, disappear. So, I actually need to follow the... No. I don't want to follow them. I don't care. You know, they're doing some drugs to try and, you know, have a spiritual experience and talk to the dead. Leave them be. I mean, admittedly, I would probably, like... Yeah, that younger woman, she would probably get sent off. Be like, look, no, she just... Take her away. Because I know someone else comes around, poking around here at one point. And it'd just be like, no, send her off. You don't need her here anymore. Let me have a look. Player... What is my... Annoying. So... We don't really have anything to sell either. I was thinking I'll do some haggling quick, just to try and get my speech up, but yeah. Oh, have I already eaten from here? No. Will someone come over to gamble with me? Do we have any books at the moment? No? No. I am a little bit worried about how high our speechcraft is, but I think we should be alright because our military might is quite high, so it should be alright. Well, I would gamble with you, good sir, but
The one I buy goods from. He said right away he'll take them. And how much do I want for them?
Well now.
we have some drinking to do.
Certainly. I'll fetch it right away.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanush to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumors aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarreled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And of course describing them in detail. The tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable well in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth. And they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Pull me an ale. A tankard here.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
Satisfied?
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe?
They can.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Warning. These cutscenes may contain some nudity.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Yes, with our metal gauntlets, we shall back you up, Father. For the priest! So I was actually wrong. Ooh. Yeah, go on, go for the bailiff. Just keep left.
It's a sin to fight so bad.
Punch, punch, punch.
It's a sin to fight so bad.
It's a sin to fight so badly. Brilliant. Oh crap. Oh, oh, I'm actually taking damage. What the hell? Oh, the drinking's getting worse. The drinking's really kicking in now. I should have gone for the other people. Go for the other people, Henry. Stop going for the one who's clearly able to fight. Okay, I can hardly see. Okay, well, we definitely helped the priest, I guess.
So,
Oh
my
crap.
dear, would you like to have a little ring on the bell? Sooner said than done.
I'd love to.
I can see
And
nothing.
Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Fuck, that must be loud.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Nudity inbound. This is your last warning. Nudity inbound. I take no responsibility for this.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
I just want to see something. Oh, shitballs. Okay. Food and drink. Do I have the potion that gets rid of hangovers? I do. Drink. Have you ever been so drunk you were... Yes, yes I have actually. Don't judge, I live in the country. Although I might have been mooing.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Best priest ever. In any video game, best priest.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. Oh, my guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, alright. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
First things first, eat something. Oh, I'm still hungover. This is not good.
Be a bit more careful.
Okay, let's have a look at our stats quick, because if we're still hungover, this is going to... Oh dear Christ. -2 on strength. Oh dear. Oh dear. Do we have anything that will help with this? Maybe? I mean, the hangover potion, we don't have enough time. It won't work. Ugh. Okay. We're probably going to fail this next mission. I can't see how we're going to succeed. Hey, Sean Coon. Yeah, it's because I don't like most of the upgrades in this game. It's the kind of buff, give you buff and give you a negative kind of system. Part of her head's missing. Oh, I didn't get dressed.
I thought he'd never show up. The swill pop.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at it. Mother of God. Any minute now he'd throw up.
I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabilis a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem.
Best priest ever.
Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Oh dear, all of my stats are horrific. Okay. Well, we'll begin confidently, I guess.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point.
With cuts all
I'd
over
like
our
to talk
face.
about the church and how corrupt it is. Boy, is a cheek. One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Oi! All honor to Godwin! Let him drink like one of us!
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Nothing wrong with a bit of fornication. And there's definitely something wrong when people don't fornicate. I mean, a priest who's not allowed to telling you what to... yeah, there's something wrong with that.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver tongue.
I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague. We told him nicely.
I should have put some clothes on.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. And I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubos tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you,
well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius? That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest.
Yes, with all the killing and fornicating.
With your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
To be honest with you, I would much prefer if they actually had all... like, speak English, but have the accent of the country, you know. It is very weird that they've all got English, American accents, and... Yeah, this isn't England or America.
No, I didn't.
It's just odd.
God save you.
She only started not long ago. Always in the evening.
Oh no, we can't do the witchcraft
She sits down
quest
and gets
yet.
on with it.
Huh?
Could you just teleport? Stop fucking teleporting everywhere. So, well, the witches are still there, which is a little bit confusing. I thought they would have moved, but never mind. So we've got to track down Riki. Ooh, we can kill some bandits. I would quite like to kill some bandits. Come, horsey. We must be off. There is killing to be done. Yeah, no, I cannot take religion seriously once you learn about things like, you know, what the priest is saying. Oh yes, well, God does love a penitence. Fuck off! You burn people at the stake for being witches. Yet all you have to do is a bit of praying and a bit of crying, and all of a sudden God forgives you. It's like bollocks. I know what you did to witches during this time. Well, wise women, herbalists in this time and age. let us put a marker on the bandits, because they're the ones I want to go and kill. And I believe, yep, this way. So I have to admit, my poking around with the settings has improved the stream's stability, not stability. But it clearly has affected the graphic. Ah, you son of a bitch horse. It has affected the graphics quite a lot, so I will try and play around with that before the next stream tomorrow, probably. I think this is the way. But I'd quite like to see how combat is with the settings, how they are. Can't be much further now. Once we get into the circle, we will have ourselves a save your schnapps, because I'm still not 100% about combat yet. Ooh, fuck me. That was... Wow, that would have been really, really dumb if I hadn't have put on all of my armour and everything. Fucking hell. That would have been devastating. Have I already got something on there? Yeah, I have. Is that better? No, it's worse. And we will put the van braces on, because I'm still not that good at shooting. Cool. Actually, let's just have a look and see if I did. Ooh, I have actually got a warfare one. I think that one's just makes them bleed, so yeah, we will learn that one. I don't see the point in Rusty Edge. I keep my weapons well maintained, so it's kind of like I don't really like any of them. I'd rather, and I don't like that one, and I don't need the hunting one yet. Is there another mule? Have we got a new level in mule? No. No? Okay. So yeah, I don't really get any of these, because there's for most of them there's a negative along with the positive, and I'd rather save up for first aid and scout. And I don't find food's a real problem either. Oh no, hang on, here's mule. Yeah, I don't find that food's a real problem either. I find food everywhere. And I don't want that one yet. So yeah, for most of them I save them up for things that come unlockable later on. I might have to give that a go, or do it with the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring theme tune. Oh, have we found the bandits already? That was rather quick. Like, I'm quite noisy. How are you not hearing me? I missed his head by you snivelling.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong
Yeah, I know I am. Wow, your head's missing. Where's your face? Okay.
Where is everyone? Quick! Ah! Towards! Get over here! Ah! Look at this! Jesus Christ! Yeah!
Oop. Is something behind me? I couldn't move backwards then, which was infuriating. Have I not got the other... Fuck off. The other issue is I'm used to playing with my other Henry, who has a lot more abilities unlocked. So I keep forgetting which ones... Hang on a minute. Did he get shot in the head?
Hey, all of you! Gather here!
I think he did. I think that dude shot him in the head. I'm sure there was an arrow in his head. Was it you? I need to get my archery skill up, so... There we go. Yeah, it was you. You got my kill. Oh, fuck. And now your head's missing. I mean, don't get... I like the fact that the stream's a little bit more stable. Did he shoot me? Oh, no, he moved. But yeah, it's... Having things like... Fighting opponents with no heads is a little bit odd. Oh, you know what? Fuck you. I'm just... Just die! Mercy kill. Yeah, it's because I'm used... Every evening, basically, I play my personal playthrough. And in that one, I think I'm like level 13 with bows. So I can literally hold it down for as long as I want. So I'm still a little bit used to my other Henry. Oh, fine, we'll take the 2 that are worth 100. I'm not taking the rest of the crap. Like, have we actually... I can't remember. What sword ones have we unlocked then? Ooh, we have another sword. So these are for long swords, yeah? Guess I just didn't hit it then. Do we have another longsword one? We do. Yeah, we'll unlock that. I don't know why I've just got a love of long swords in this game. I don't really like using the shields. I just think there's something badass about someone coming at you with a two-hander, just like parrying. Not that I'm any good at parrying, actually. Yeah, might be worth a bit. And I do need to try to get 5 grand so we can get a new horse. So ooh, sure, we'll take a blacksmithing kit. Why not? No, I think he just had a club actually, but what about you? Didn't you have a decent weapon? Maybe not. Oh well, never mind. The armor's the most expensive thing, anyway. I wish you could actually sell these horses, but I don't think you can, as far as I'm aware.
What's going on there? Hey, what are you up? What's that?
You, yep, son of a...
Dog! Get over here!
That was in line. Ah, son of a... Henry, you're just not... I think I'm actually still using one of the first bows with this Henry. Now let's sleep for 2 hours and wait for him to come back. We might be lucky enough and he'll actually go to sleep next to us. I really do despise this mechanic. They should slit your throat. They should come in and be like, holy shit, he's asleep. Stab. But I will abuse it. If I can sleep for a couple of hours and wait for them to fall asleep next to me, fine. Doesn't always work. Oh, I don't think it worked. Unless he's asleep in here. No. There he is. Oh, it's because I'm full up of... I was going to chase him down, but I'm full up on gear, aren't I? Hunt him. Oh well. Right. Horse, take all this crap, please. Magical horse, come to me. Let's see if he is still running. Yeah, he's still running. Okay, never mind then. Like I said, I'm not going to go. Oh look, they've all moved. I wonder if, yeah, they're probably going to go into the woods and do their peyote, whatever the fuck it's called. How far until I get 5 grand? Huh. Not far at all, actually. If I sold some of those things. Yeah, we're going to head back to, what is it, Ratay. And then we will probably end the stream off there, I think. And that's quite a good episode. Hey, it's always a good episode when you get to see some boob. So, yeah. We got to see some boobs, we got to kill some bandits, we got to get drunk with a priest. I mean, a very, very successful day in my book, really. I mean, let's face it. But, right, everyone. Thank you very much indeed for coming to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, as we continue our playthrough of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Fastly becoming one of my favourite games of the year, easily. I put quite a lot of time into it, and it just gets better and better. So, if you have liked, then you know what to do, and I will see you in a not too distant future. So please take care everyone, and bye bye for now.